felt, see, of all the winners I've had on this show, right, I think I am most pleased for that particular woman because I am a connoisseur of bookers. I don't shop for Mama Put Taya Booker. When I first started work here 7 years ago, yeah. See this road, this entire road, I've eaten from Rumosi Junction, and I kid you not, from Rumosi Junction, I've tasted every single vendor's food at night and during the day. Awaka, even where, there's a road before Rumosi Junction, right? There's a road that takes you all the way back then before this bridge came through, right? It's just off the off the interior. It takes you into the Rumosi end. I will take you to Ozoba. That road, Adowaka. Those days when I was looking for who has the best okra soup, which man makes the best native soup, or sometimes beans. I used to love bread and beans in the morning, so I did waka. Then sometimes at night, Canada had a customer at Alakaya Junction. No, not Alakaya Junction. First Mechanic. Canada used to have one lady there that used to make very sweet jollof rice. You'd be like, just that the fish was very small. I don't know how they used to. It's like they use a razor blade to cut the fried fish back in those days. But anyway, that was the only downside. So yes, I was so pleased this morning to have to give that winner who is a food vendor. So I don't know what path you are in life, but hey, look, if we get to call you, right, I would absolutely love to say you have won the money for today. Don't forget, it's part of the big jackpot. So every single ticket, as many tickets as you can buy this week, is going to run in your favor, for the jackpot coming up later on. So every ticket you buy from Monday, today, yesterday, tomorrow, on Friday as well, it's going to be very, very, very important. Absolutely gobsmackingly good stuff on the show. Speaking of food, it's like our fried fish today. Anywho, where are we? Yeah, final conversation this morning on Hello Port Harcourt. Shall we get to it? Yes, we shall. That's why we're here after all. Our final conversation is all about sibling rivalry. Yes, let me take that again. Sibling rivalry. Now, let me give you a definition of sibling rivalry. Now, it describes the inevitable competition. Listen to this. It is inevitable, meaning it must happen at one point or another, right? It must happen. So it describes the inevitable competition and animosity that occurs between siblings. Now, for some siblings, it happens early on in life. Maybe when they are, particularly those who are closer in age. So if the age difference between your first son and your first daughter, your first son and your second son is 2 or 3, the likelihood of having sibling rivalry is very high, right? But the further apart it is, right, research shows that the sibling rivalry tends to reduce. It's not like it's not there at all. But between siblings who are closely, in tandem in their ages, the intensity is high, right? Now, when sibling rivalry occurs, 2 things tend to happen. One, they fight and then they either get over it or they don't. That's the honest truth, right? Sometimes they don't. But you see, sibling rivalry tends to even be worse when they are not blood related. So what that means is that, how you could have adopted kids, for example, or friends or family who have not become so close. You find out that your family and this family, let's say your neighbors, you are very close. Everybody knows you are very close. But every now and then, maybe there's one particular person, one of your sons who's always fighting with one of your daughters. And I remember when we were kids, there were these individuals, this group of friends, brothers and sisters. So the brothers on one hand, all right, were all friends. The sisters on the other hand were all friends. So this guy and his sister were friends with this other guy and their sister. So they were all very good friends. And as they grew up, right, sometimes, everybody in this house will go and sleep in this other person's house and vice versa. And then one day there was a quarrel. There was a quarrel between the girls from the two different houses, right? A very big quarrel. And the quarrel was so intense that both parents, particularly the mothers, noticed. Obviously it was the mothers that knew that picked on this, right? And so I remember coming to church, and then, one of the mothers was telling me, what happened though? These girls, because when they come to church, they all, because they're all friends, they'll all sit down together. If you didn't know, you would just assume they were all related, but they weren't. They're just friends. But that same rivalry, came through. And the mom was like, why is this girl not sitting down where they always sit down? Say, that they've been quarreling since last week. That I don't even know what the quarrel, and the women were just laughing at them and things like that. But you see, there is a big problem in modern day relationships. Over the past 3 or 4 months, there have been stories coming out from the US, about brothers stabbing brothers, shooting brothers. In this country, right? In this country, sadly, I've had scenarios where a brother, hired assassins to kill another brother because of a petrol station. Their father left them a very huge property, and there were threats and stuff like that. And then, sadly, in some of the Nollywood movies of the bygone era, there was a lot of emphasis on how sisters will go and poison these sisters' children, or poison these, or go and poison the food. The husband will die, and those type of things. But my focus now, ladies and gentlemen, is sibling rivalry, even in adulthood. Usually sibling rivalry, is part of, the child's siblings are the first society they meet. So they learn to regulate their emotions. They learn how to be angry, how to be playful, how to be forgiving, how to be suspicious, how to be supportive from their siblings. So it's only natural that these emotions come through. But when you don't have these things, go up till adulthood, I find it very shocking to hear siblings who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, who have children, still having beef with each other. One of such things I heard recently is a man who was criticizing his older brother over some family issue, and the older brother apparently is the calmer one, and he says, look, we don't need to do this, we don't need to stress anybody, this can be done, we'll send somebody there, we don't need to even travel because it is very expensive, right? We will do this and it will be fine. And then the younger brother says, why are you always taking this kind of decision? Is it because you have sons? And then they went on to have an argument for hours that led to them not speaking again for months. The younger brother doesn't have male children. He has 4 girls. The older brother has 3 boys and 2 girls. Now, interestingly, this little issue, it's not even a case of, okay, the man doesn't have children. No, it's just that the older brother has 3 sons while he has no son. So every decision that is being taken is met with opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to me and you're an adult, you fall into this category, 30, 40, 50, 60, I'm asking you, are you still having sibling rivalry issues in your adult life? And the question is, why? Why have you not been able to resolve those issues? Some of your reasons, I'm very sure I'm going to hear, will be very, very genuine, and they may be germane to this conversation. But let's be honest, why?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, Bon Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
017-923-0002, 0817923-0007. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. WhatsApp is 08090306416, 08090306416. We're talking about sibling rivalries this morning, and I'm asking, as an adult in particular, it's more common in children, but as an adult in particular, why are you having beef with your brother, with your sister, older or younger? Is this something that you cannot resolve? Is this something that you think, the family has to come into play? 92.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello,
good morning. Oh dear. Speaking of sibling rivalry in adulthood, the biggest name that just came to my head? The P-Square twins. See? That's just what came to my head. Just no. All right, what's up? I say, and just like that, stray bullet hits now. Wow. No, it's not like that. How is my comment construed, or rather misconstrued, as stray bullet against the man of the people? No, He was the one. If I count as a pathfinder, he showed me the way. That's all I'm saying. Eh? You people, that's how people cause problems between two siblings. Good morning, Jude. Sibling rivalry is very real. I recently experienced it firsthand. I wish I could share my story, but I'm believing God to heal my family. Oh dear. But it's mostly caused by selfish and self-centered interest. But some people also believe it is spiritual factors too. God help us all. Christopher, is there Omorigi? Say Bini somebody. Probably Esa. But that is Omorigi. Obviously, and they do. Anyway, let me move on. All right, so Christopher, sorry to hear to read that you're still having sibling rivalry in your family. Okay, deeply saddened by that. But why, and can't it be resolved? This one here says, good morning. Brothers, particularly between the age of 10 and 15, must fight. You cannot separate for them. Usually, it takes something to affect both of them before they become real friends. If they pass that stage, you can almost not separate them. That is from Stanley. All right, Stanley, we'll be back after this break.
For more talk, news and sports, stay tuned to Nigeriainfo.
We'll be right back after this.
Let me ask you a question. What holds you back when you wake up each morning? Is it the uncertainty of how the day will unfold? And as the day goes on, what makes your heart race? Is it the quiet fear that maybe you're not doing enough? And when it's evening, is it the longing for just a little more time? Whatever it is, remember, challenge
and I will be calling out another winner for the one play draw this morning. And yes, the jackpot is still coming through. That means you have a chance to win the bigger amounts later on this week. All right, so just go to oneplay.ng or use the USSD code *347*880*6#. Right, so there's still time. All right, somebody say, can I still play? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just use the details like I've said. But for now, let's talk about sibling rivalry. Now, let me read the story for you right here. This one here says, this on WhatsApp says, Drew, good morning. Sibling rivalry is as old as mankind. Cain and Abel, they were siblings. That's rivalry. And from that day till today, there's always a brother or a sister who would have something against the other person. But the parents have a huge role in sibling rivalry. A lot of parents don't pay attention to why the children are fighting. Sometimes the children are fighting because they are trying to impress one or even both parents. And that's because the parents are paying too much attention to one child. And that will lead to the other child resenting the other sibling. Parents need to do better. It's not easy to love all your children at the same time, but please don't show that you love one more than the other. This is the primary reason for sibling rivalry. And that is from Tinu. Tinu, I don't know if Tinu is a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but do you agree with Tinu that it is the way parents treat their children that often leads to sibling rivalry? Is it? Well, let's hear from you. My simple question this morning is, are you experiencing sibling rivalry in your adult phase right now? As an adult, you're in your late 20s or your mid 20s or your 30s, 40s or 50s. Are you still quarreling with your older brother or older sister or younger brother or younger sister? Why? Why have you not been able to let go of whatever that problem is? Why are you always fighting with your brother?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
So 017-923-0003, 0817923-0007. Those are the numbers that you can use to call us and join in this conversation. 0817923-0003, 0817923-0007. All right. Then at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH at Nigeriainfo PH. WhatsApp is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. All right, straight off, let's get up to WhatsApp. Igwe John, Igwe says, of Ebonyi State. Let me put that because that's how he sent the message. Of Ebonyi State. Good morning, John. Says, anyone who cannot control sibling rivalry is not mature enough. But most of the reason is because many of them are not the same blood running in them, which means DNA have come in here. Believe me, that is for the grown-up ones anyway. It's very similar. I think John is on something. Where's my prep page where I have all the links and all the journals I read every day? Okay, all right. So yeah, it comes here. Okay, it says okay, now sibling rivalry also occurs between siblings who are not blood related. So yeah, John Igwe is obviously onto something right now. Now this one says, age does not erase certain things. Some parents are the worst excuses for parents that can happen to a person. So it goes on to say, that's a long message. When I was growing up, I knew as the person I knew as my biological brother was horribly abusive. I'm not talking about being called big head or something mild that I'm blowing out of proportion. Gosh, I suffered. I was beaten, told I would never amount to anything in life. And when I cried, our so-called mother would laugh with my brother and say I hadn't started crying. What? What am I reading? Is this real? Said Jude, I have a health condition which makes breathing difficult sometimes. And one day my brother told me, and I quote, I am targeting you. I will hold your nose. I will hit your chest and you will die. This is your brother. And this person who they say brought me into this world heard it and did nothing apart from tell me that I was being used by a spirit of unforgiveness. Oh, Sanobla. This boy admitted that he had taken my underwear to jazz. This story is getting even more disturbing. But said that I am a witch because the voodoo priest beat him after saying something. Jude, I traveled abroad and I was so traumatized that for nearly a year I slept curled in the fetal position. I didn't even realize I was doing it. Huge bed and me, a full-grown adult, would be sleeping like a baby in the womb. There are so many other things that I would not talk about. I have healed, but I will never forget, and I don't feel vengeful, but I will not fake amnesia or open myself to danger to please any religious person or so-called parent. I have cuckoo left their church for them, so no pastor can come to my house and harass me in the name of asking for forgiveness for anybody. I am not quarreling. I have just accepted that my family is my husband and whomever loves me genuinely. What did I just read? Look, I know as brothers, I know as siblings, particularly when we are that formative years, we can be petty, right? We can be a bit of the risky end, always trying to do things. We think that okay, by the time you sleep and wake up, it will pass. I remember one time my brother was bigger than me and he was upset with me, and we used to fold our clothes together in the same wardrobe, but he was so upset with me he threw mine on the ground. I had to come, and those days our pints it used to be very small. It used to be, what's that brand called? Hings. It used to be Hings white pants those days. Oh my days, what am I doing? Anyway, so we had to fold them, and if your wardrobe was not arranged, whenever our mom would come, I just even thinking about it is giving me a headache. But yeah, so I had to do my wardrobe all over again. And when I knew he was the one, and so I would push him. Why did you cut out my clothes? Blah 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 blah. Do. Why'd you do this? But you know what? I'd say this. By the time we got into secondary school, I don't know how the sibling rivalry between my brother and I faded. I think it's because, in secondary school, there were other bullies. And so I became more protective of my younger brother. 9.3, good morning.
Good morning, you.
Good morning, welcome.
Hi, about sibling
rivalry.
Yes.
I have an elder sister. In fact, we are just two. My mother had. She should be 40.
Wow.
But we barely pass the same. And most of this whole thing actually comes from the parents. We grew up in separate homes, though we were born of the same mother.
I
not
see.
the same father.
I see.
And my mother loved that girl so much. And when I mean my mother will show her that love and show me the resentment.
Why? Do you still feel that your mother doesn't appreciate you?
You know, when we were children, it felt as if we will not outgrow that stage. But today we're all adults. And why did the table turn? Because right now my mother's responsibility is on me. My so-called elder sister now she's just in her own world. And about the resentment, even to tomorrow. I've made efforts personally from my end to at least let us live in peace, but I realized that she has a mindset concerning, and there's nothing I can do to change it.
But according to you say that your mother showed her more affection than she did you. So why do you think your older sister is resentful of you?
Because one, I was the one between the both of us, I'm the only one that chose the education path. You know, let's say I was the one that had the calmer brain to amount to something. So now the resentment is so much now because I have a living, but she doesn't.
Does she have children?
I don't even know how. Yeah, she does. She has 2 children.
Do you interact with your niece or nephew?
Not really. I can interact with a niece or nephew. You don't interact with their mother.
Oh, so that means she doesn't let them even see their own cousins.
No. We don't come around each other.
Wow.
There are certain mistakes our parents growing up made that I hear in adulthood they can't correct it. They can't correct it because the truth is like one of the messages you read. When you show so much love to a particular sibling, the other one is watching. I watched all through. And now, as old as we are now, our mom is almost 70. Once in a while, I remind her. I remind her of her actions. I remind her of her doing. Because whatever she did is what even caused or triggered this resentment so much. Do you know that if my sister offended me when I was growing up, if I report to my mother would say I'm the one disrespecting her, that I don't have respect. She's 8 years older than me. I should be sure. And I'm like, I can hear me complain. Let me tell you what she did. I was at that. No. There was no room for that. The truth is, if someone resents you, be it your sibling or a friend, no matter how hard you try for you to live for their, it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't. It doesn't, because when I look at the both of us, she is even the most opportunated person. She has more opportunities than I have. But he wasn't seeing it that way at all. She still saw me as if I came to share her mother's affection with her after 8 years.
Oh, okay.
And we have grown up with it. We are living with it. There's nothing we can do. We will all blame, like me, I blame my mom. I blame her for every single thing. And once in a while, I remind her so that she will know.
But even when you remind her, it doesn't solve the problem now, does it?
I know. The reason why I remind her is because she wants us to live like 2 perfect siblings. How do you establish a relationship that has never been there
before? Oh, dear, this is painful to listen to. I can feel the pain in your voice. But before I let you go, madam, have you resolved? Yeah. Have you resolved not to have any contact with your older sister?
No, not really. The problem is I just don't want anything that will make her say I have disrespected her. That's what she has always done over the years. Now, I got married in 2011. Let me just give you a brief story. They were living in Ibadan, and they had house rent issues. She was staying with my mom. I called her. I said, come, let's discuss how we sort out this renting issue. She was like, have I brought my own contribution for it? I said, if I'm not going to bring, that is calling you. That thing I'm telling you was everything I said. She got angry. She started reporting me to everybody that kept listening that I disrespected her by calling her to be talking about paying of house rent. And I'm like,
relate with her. That's just it.
Mm.
It's not as if I don't know how to relate with her in the sense I don't know what to say. She will not sense it as a disrespect. I don't just know. That's just my own So of course if she wants to be my friend again, I'm always available.
Oh dear. Well, thank you for sharing this with us. I really hope, there's common ground. But if there isn't, I think you're well within your right, to leave your own space and avoid any more trouble. I can understand that.
Thank you so much. You just spoke my mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I can totally understand. Wow. Okay. Asetikoe for my 3 says, sibling rivalries are normal, but it becomes eternal when parents or guardians take sides from either of them in the name of a favorite child. I fought with my elder and younger brothers a lot, but what recalibrated our mind was when we started having common enemies from other children. I will never forget the day I beat up a guy, the strongest bully of our time, after coming to meet him beating my older brother. I didn't know what came over me to achieve that feat that day, but ordinary me struggled to fight with my brother, not to talk of who beat him up. Jude, after this scenario, we became more of a team than rivals due to the common enemy that we had. All right. Thank you very much. Michael is on the line from Port Harcourt. Michael, good morning to you, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I would love to say about this.
Oh dear, Michael. Apologies. Service provider issues. This is how we manage every single day. All right. I'll read 1 or 2 comments and then I'll get to the one. If I just open up the one play page so that I can quickly do a draw this morning. This one says, I witnessed a sibling rivalry where I lived in my secondary school years. My landlord's wife loved the second son to the extent that other siblings hated him, especially the first son. The woman will abuse the first son and will be praising the second son. The first son beat his younger brother because of his mother's attitude to the extent that he made up his mind to kill his own brother. Sometimes parents cause unnecessary sibling conflicts. That's from Dr. Samuel Agboala here in Porto. Dr. Samuel, thank you very much. Yes, so it's inevitable that siblings will fight. But when it gets to adult levels, then something really needs to be done. Something really needs to be done. Well, my name is Jude. We've had an expose. Should get a psychologist to maybe weigh in on this as I try to do every single time. All right. The sunny side of conversation is on the way, and I would have loved to play Mama for Arsenal fans, but let me not vex anybody yet. Let's wait until next week before we do what we could do. My name is Jude. Good morning. The prize draw is coming up very shortly. Have you gotten your tickets? Well, maybe 1 more minute will be the lucky thing for you on the program. We've seen it happen before. Will it happen again? Someone just got a ticket a few moments before I came on air, and boom, that person won. Let's see if you win.
Why you stubborn for corner? And why you want push up for gutter? Why you